Hi, Gonzalo. Welcome in. We are rolling.
I'm happy to talk with you. I'm so
Oh, thank
excited.
you.
I'm so excited because Chase, I had the chance to interview you in Mexico City not so long ago
Oh,
for um, for one battle after another. And one thing that excites me about talking with the two of you is that as Chase in that moment, also you, Lucy, represent the future of
Mm.
entertainment. And I think that it's interesting to talk about the future of entertainment when we're talking about a show that deals with a
Yeah.
possible future, with the
Mm.
idea of a catastrophic future. So I wanted to ask you both, since you're so young, in your idea of the future, is there the possibility of this menacing future that the show and the whole how Handmaid's Tale horizon presents us?
I mean, I'm not a prophet,
Yeah.
but I would say that if people continue to be complicit, then yes, I would not be surprised if we
Mm.
move towards a situation like that,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But I think that one of the things that our show does so beautifully, that even though they're in such a dark and grim world, there is still hope.
Mhm.
And there is still this sense of community that I think those are two things that can be combative to a system like that.
Yeah.
But that's what I would say.
I like that. I think also what's worth remembering is that nothing in our show is a work of fiction.
Yeah.
Everything has been based on a point in history of an event that has actually occurred. So nothing has been conjured out of nowhere or is fantastical and everything has happened at some point and it. And I think having that reality ground the nature of our show should only be a further warning or point of reflection for society that this isn't made up. It's happened before and it can happen again.
We have
And
learned from history.
exactly. And I think that's a hopefully harrowing message from the show too.
In a certain way, as you said, it takes situations from real life and history and different points of history. So I wanted to ask you, do you notice that the present has in a certain way changed regarding the things that it takes from the past? Do you feel part of the change from that past?
Definitely, we feel that responsibility to kind of be the change in a way, or be a face of hope for people, or be a mirror to society in a way. We definitely feel the weight and the responsibility of that because the show is so relevant and so loved,
Yeah.
and has kind of left the TV screen and has gone out into the streets. People are using the costumes from The Handmaid's Tale as a form of protest, and we feel the responsibility and the weight of that, and we only want to continue that forward because we're telling a story can empower people to do the same thing, and I think that that's something that we feel very honored to be a part of as well.
No, I completely agree that we are in a very privileged position in the sense of we're getting to advocate for this message on a screen, and that screen is being shared with audiences globally. And I think we're definitely not taking that for granted, the position that we're in or the potential for enacting change that we're in, or at least igniting a fire that we hope does spread with audience members. And so we're definitely acutely aware of the impact that The Handmaid's Tale had, and hopefully that impact continues with this show as well.
And the show business can be so vertical, the way it works can be vertical. I wanted to ask you, does the behind the scenes experience in a certain way mimics the idea of horizontalness, of what the show and the characters are yearning for?
Do you mean in terms of our experience making the show? Is that mimicking?
Yeah, yeah.
I
what
don't.
what the sh- what the show wants to go for, not what the show shows us. Because I think that the show asks for that horizontalness, for that democracy.
I think I'm going to answer this how I believe you're asking the question, because I think I'm still a bit confused. But I think that one of the things with our show is all of the group of people who are involved in it behind the scenes could not be farther from the characters and the stories that are already at the start of the Testaments and in Gilead. I think that everybody who we worked with, they understand the weight and the responsibility that we all have, but they also carry so much love and light in their hearts. And you can feel that with everybody on set. We all are so supportive of each other and so loving of each other. And we carry that forward even past the show into our own personal lives, being advocates in our own personal lives. So I think that if I'm answering it correctly, I think that our entire cast and crew could not be more different than the show
Yeah.
because we want to be fighting for the future. We want to be fighting for the future generation, for the change. We're trying to be the change that we want to even see in the world.
Yeah.
And the show is only helping us, is only furthering our motivation to keep doing that too.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I think having that levity within the cast and crew allows for those scenes of an intense nature to be effectively performed because you're not blurring the lines between fiction and reality. You're able to step into those scenes and do the intense work, but then step out and go back to a safe and supportive environment that isn't reflective of those scenes and the nature and the events that goes on in those scenes. And so we were very fortunate to have that working environment, and I think that certainly contributes to the outcome of the show and hopefully the effectiveness that we witness on screen.
And it shows. I think that there's so much tenderness in the relationship between your characters. I can notice it now that you're not portraying your characters. So I wanted to ask you, although there was this lightness that you were talking about on the set, how did you build that relationship? How was that built?
It was natural. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was very easy. As Chase said, immediately there was an innate connection between all of us, like between Chase and myself, but then between the other girls as well. And we were so fortunate to have that there really wasn't a lot of legwork required to befriend each of them, because everyone who worked in the show is just such a lovely person, and you wanted to get on with them and spend time with them and love them because they emanate such joy. And so it was very easy to build that connection.
I would say the same. And I think above all, we all just love the work, and we really understand the importance of an ensemble, especially with a project with this. And we really wanted to make sure that we did the work behind the scenes, which is not difficult work because we all genuinely really loved and enjoyed each other. But yeah, everyone was just a kind and genuine person, which I think on top of that makes it even easier to get along with a person when their intentions are pure.
Well, Lucy, Chase, Lucy, it's been such a pleasure to meet with you. How the show goes on and how your careers goes on. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.